This time out, big news from Apple and a very powerful new synth app. Let's get started. As we're filming this video, Apple has just released iOS 7, the latest operating system for the iPad, the iPhone, and the iPod Touch. Now, there are hundreds of new features in iOS 7. I'm just getting it installed on my phone. In fact, I don't think it's even completed downloading yet. We've still got a few minutes left to download, and then I assume it'll take about an hour to install that. Among the new features in iOS 7 is a brand new look. Now, what Apple has done is really simplified the interface. They've cleaned things up, made it a little flatter, a little bit more colorful, but what they've really tried to do is optimize it so that what you need to have under your fingertips are readily available right there. They've also added a new control center that does the same thing. What the control center does is it brings a lot of the controls that you access all the time, for example, turning Wi-Fi on and off, into a central place where you can quickly access them. Other new features include expanded functionality for Siri, as well as AirDrop, which allows you to share data and photos with other iOS users wirelessly. If you're making music with your iOS devices, I think that the new smarter multitasking features are going to be very important. These allow apps to run in the background while another app runs in the foreground, and it also allows iOS 7 to intelligently manage when things are updated. So it can look at when you're using your apps, and if updates need to be done to the data or to the app itself, it can take care of that in the background. The next time you open the app up, it'll be ready to go. In iOS 7, Apple has also introduced its own free streaming radio service, iTunes Radio. Now, iTunes Radio is intelligent like some of the other services out there. It will customize the music that's delivered to you based on your preferences, and you can also create your own stations by clicking on an artist or on a song as it's playing. As I mentioned earlier, I'm currently downloading iOS 7. We've already seen a lot of apps being updated to support iOS 7, a lot of new features there to check out, so we'll be bringing you information on all that's new and cool in iOS 7 and the related apps in future installments of Sweetwater's iOS Update. Nave is a new synthesizer from Waldorf that's incredibly powerful. It allows you to load in wavetables, which is a series of waveforms that it steps through, as well as waveforms. You can type in and it'll do text-to-speech analysis. It will also analyze audio files and create synthesis waveforms from those. Beyond all the sound generating capabilities that Nave has on board, it has a lot of processing and editing capabilities as well. This is our waveform screen here where we choose the waveforms that are in the two oscillators. Very cool user interface. We switch to the second oscillator by just dragging up and down. We've also got a filter page here that allows us to work with different types of filters. We can assign envelopes to those. We've got an amplitude filter. We've got drive here for adding distortion. A lot of capability there. For modulation, we have tons of different routings here. We've got pitch and mod wheels, of course, and we've got, again, waveforms that can be used as LFOs there. We step over here, we've got built-in arpeggiators, we've got modulation effects, we've got a delay, a reverb, we've got an EQ that's built in. So we've got tons and tons of sound shaping power for creating the sounds that you want to hear from Nave. When you call up or create a preset, if it has a wavetable, you'll see it displayed here in this display. One of the unusual things about Nave is that it allows us to actually edit that wavetable. We have a variety of tools there. We can look at this at a full screen display. When you do, we can hit the edit button. It opens up a toolbox over here. We can manipulate the wavetable, we can change the order of things, we can zoom in, we can raise and lower the peaks within that wavetable, so we have a lot of power for shaping that wavetable. This is also where we go into the text-to-speech editor. You press the Tools button, it opens up the menu here, and then we can click into this, and we can actually type in whatever we want to hear Nave say or synthesize into to musical speech. So we can type in Sweetwater iOS Update. Hit return, and then we'll go out of full screen mode. And you can actually play with that text-to-speech as well. As you're working in Nave, if you come up with musical ideas that you want to save or a song that you want to record, there's a 4-track recorder built in so you can capture all those tracks. Nave also is WIST compatible, so if you have other iOS devices that are running WIST compatible apps, you can synchronize those together. I've really had a lot of fun with Nave. I'm finding it's an inspiring synthesizer. The sounds that are in it are fresh, and of course you can create those sounds that are completely original from sound files that you have by typing text in or by using wavetables. So a lot of capability here for generating new sounds and for creating musical ideas. I hope you've enjoyed this installment of Sweetwater's iOS update. Be sure to tune in next time. We'll have more apps, more hardware, and tech tips on making music with your iOS devices. I'm Mitch Gallagher.